Hello, I hope you are always well. In this video, we are going to show you the spotted lake in Canada. We are here to raise your awareness, so watch this video to the end and subscribe to the channel and like the video. Let's go. The land is a great place full of fascinating and amazing sights. Sometimes on top of mountains, sometimes in the depths of valleys, sometimes in the heart of the earth, and sometimes at the top of the sky. Amazing waterfalls, eerie forests, high and legendary high mountains, roaring seas and endless oceans. But this time we are going to take you to see a wonder that, although not as great as the seas, but among the seas and lakes of all, it is more unique, and you should definitely look into it. A common small lake that, despite its calm appearance, is full of stories and legends. A spotted lake in Canada that sits close to the US-Canada border and looks more like an unknown attraction than another planet. If you see the pictures of the spotted lake, you will surely realize the interesting name of this lake. In North America, in the always quiet country of Canada, in the state of British Columbia, we reach the city of waterfalls. Now that we have reached the beautiful city of waterfalls, we are right on our way to a protected area that the Canadians call Lakecanada grasslands. It is protected in this area, but all the sights of nature are on one side and our destination is on the other. The valley called Similkamino in the south of this protected area is our final destination. Highway 3, right on the border between Washington in the United States and Canada, takes us exactly where we want to go. We are now 7 miles from Essex, and if you want to know our distance to Vancouver, we are 4.5 hours away to see this fascinating phenomenon. Through the hills and mountains, when we move in the middle of the valley, which is covered by a thin slope, our eyes fall on a fence, on a part of which a sign has been installed. The words Spotted Lake are engraved on the board, and from a distance, your eyes fall on photographers and tourists who are curiously gazing beyond the fences. Sometimes helicopters fly over the valley and a photographer is found huddled above. As you get closer to the fences, your eyes fall on a phenomenon that suddenly reminds you of space movies and special effects. A lake full of beautiful green, blue and silver colors that stand out on the body of the lake. On the surface of the lake is shallow but full of colored dots, and, of course, there is a strange smell. The lake is amazing, as if someone had painted the body of the lake with a brush. Like a color palette whose colors do not mix at all. The lake, however, is not very large, half a mile long and about 200 yards wide, and its total circumference is about 1.7 kilometers. The lake is a complete inland basin and no river enters or leaves it. It has no access to any other sea or ocean and supplies its water from underground reserves and seasonal rainfall. How this lake came to be here is a complex geological debate, but what has happened to this day that it is so special and amazing, and its shape and image is different from all the lakes in the world. Many years ago, when science had not yet found its place among the common people, many myths and stories justified the existence of this lake and its strange shape and image. But now that our force reaches different laboratories and sciences, we know that everything in one word sums it up: chemistry. The lake is full of concentrated minerals and a huge amount of salt. The salt and alkaline lake is full of mineral compounds such as sodium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, titanium and a little silver. In spring or autumn and winter, when the rains reach their peak, the lake has a normal shape and is no different from other lakes. But as soon as the sun shines more and the air gets warmer, the lake water begins to evaporate. Minerals remain on the bottom of the lake and its concentration increases. Mineral and salt particles begin to crystallize, and the overall chemical balance of the lake is disturbed and out of the ordinary. Each of the minerals together form a small colored pool that sits on a bed of sulfur and looks like a colored mottled cloth on the lake. Early July is the best time to see this amazing physical and natural phenomenon, as the water level drops to an acceptable level and the lake is full of small and large colored spots. Apart from the beauty and astonishment of the lake, this lake, like any other rare and amazing phenomenon, has been sacred and respected by the native people of this region, and it has had a bit of a magical aspect. This is a place on the border between Canada and the United States where a tribe that has lived in this valley for more than 3,000 years, and like any other tribe has its own customs and beliefs. The Okanagan tribe have lived in this land for a long time and have certain beliefs about this lake, and it is called Lake Shasta. Hot Springs God has always had many healing properties for different tribes everywhere on Earth, and many people still turn to hot springs to use the healing properties of these water sources. For many years, this lake has had a therapeutic role for the natives and the first inhabitants of this region, who used to swim and sometimes take a bath in order to use the healing properties of this lake. For years, the people of this tribe have migrated from this area and the survivors have settled in another valley, which is more protected, but this lake still has a special sanctity for them. The locals, however, call this lake cold and, ironically, attach great importance to its survival. Today, however, it is no longer possible to swim and bathe in this lake, and a fence will keep you away from the lake. The natives believe that each color of this lake represents a different healing property and each pond has a special power. They believe that there were a total of 360 colored dots on the lake, which is 365 days a year, although today research shows the presence of 400 colored dots on the body of the lake. Many years ago, inscriptions and carved stones belonging to the same tribe were discovered around the lake, which showed the mystical and magical position of this lake in the eyes of the people of the tribe. A researcher was able to reach the lake several years ago with the permission of the Canadian government and conduct experiments on it. The researcher believed that this lake is very similar to the lakes on the surface of Mars. Although it later became clear that this resemblance was not so serious, the strange and rare appearance of this lake still reminds you of the lakes of other spheres of the solar system that you have seen in space movies. The lake, however, has gone through ups and downs. For example, during World War I, workers extracted about a ton of salt from the lake every day. This extraction, however, was to the detriment of the lake, as some natives quote from their ancestors that the lake had more color diversity before this extraction. In addition to salt, the extraction of some mineral compounds was also very common in those days. Fortunately, today you have to get several permits from different centers to reach the lake, otherwise it was not clear whether any trace of this beautiful lake will remain or not. Spotted Lake, however, was privately owned by a Canadian family for many years. The family, however, decides to use the lake and turn it into a hot spring, but this is strongly protested by the Okanagan tribe until the family gives the gift of a hot spring to its rivals. For many years, the lake became a crossroads between this family and members of this tribe and environmentalists, until finally around 2001, the lake with thousands of hectares of land was purchased from this family for a large sum of money to be used and protected against further damage. If you ever reach the town of Osoyoos in Canada one day, be sure to visit this exceptional lake, sometimes called Osoyoos Lake, which rests like a spotted leopard on the mountainside, and remember the view of this lake above Highway 3. It is much more spectacular and beautiful. There is no public transportation on the lake route, but many tours of the city of Osoyoos to the lake are held most days of the week. If you are interested, you can even book an air tour and fly over this beautiful and rare phenomenon in the heart of the beautiful valleys of the region and see the general view of the spotted lake. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell next to it. Be sure to leave a comment wherever you like to make a video. Until the next video, bye.